Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Faith Based Mental Training with Mez. I am Meslin, your mental fitness trainer here on social media, and I'm truly grateful and thankful for 2025. I'm truly grateful and thankful for 2024, having lived, having grown and expanded in my understanding and knowledge of life, and I am here for all of it. I am so ready and prepared to enter into 2025 with the knowledge and understanding that life is here for us to create and design the life that we desire to see and experience in it. And we can go about it in a very divine and a very faithful way. So I am so honored that you are along this journey with me to get into mental shape, to get into the best mental shape of our lives. And we are going to start this week. So I learned a lot last year. I realized there are some things I would like to do differently with this channel. I want to be able to provide a space where you can come on this channel, get a quick mental workout in, and then go about your day. So I want to be able to provide different training sessions depending on where you are for the day, depending on how much time you have to commit to this, and also to just provide an orientation and give you some background as to, or share with you my intention for this channel, for this space that we are in, for this gym. So, as I said, my name is Meslin. I am a mental fitness trainer here on social media. I do 1 minute or 60-second mental workout sessions on other platforms on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all those other, TikTok. Not Twitter yet. I'm not on Twitter yet, but on TikTok. And on this particular platform, this is where we actually do a full mental workout session. So I call it faith-based mental workout sessions because we are going to get into shape mentally in a divine way. We are going to do it by focusing on God. So the type of training that we do is God-focused training. So we are going to strengthen our concentration and focus muscles using the breath. We are going to use spirit itself to get us stronger mentally. So when we're focused on the breath, we are focused on life. And it is very important to remember for the entire week that the breath is your center. It is your ground zero. It is the foundation of your being. And when you are focused on it, you are now in a God-focused state. You're in a state of mind where you are paying attention to life in a divine way. So your ability to handle and navigate life is going to be with ease. This is my experience, and I want to share it with you for that reason. I experience focusing on the breath, being able to handle and navigate whatever life presents me. So unexpected events, things you were not prepared to encounter, engage with, things you weren't expecting, you didn't know were going to happen. By focusing on the breath, remaining God focused, you are going to, in the moment, naturally know what to do. We have to learn to trust God, but we have to trust God in the most sound, practical, logical, but also spiritual way. God is not a man in the sky looking down at you. God is divine spirit. It is formless, but this is a formless form. The breath is the proof of that. The breath is proof that God is a formless form. So we can focus on the breath and allow ourselves to remain God focused. And this is going to allow us to pay attention to life, to give our undivided focus of attention to life. And when we do that, we will naturally come into the understanding and knowledge that life is something that we can handle and navigate when we're paying attention to it fully. When we allow ourselves to be easily distracted, to not be mentally disciplined, we're basically allowing ourselves to be susceptible to other people's opinions, other people's judgments, and also, more importantly, other people's limited understanding of life. So they project onto you what is or isn't possible in life, when in faith, what we learn in faith is that through God, nothing is impossible. So as you remain God focused, That allows you to take on that energy and realize that nothing is impossible to you. We are designed to manifest the life that we desire to see and experience. But with great power comes great responsibility. So you have to understand the principles of faith, which I'm going to share with you, and then live according to those principles so that through faith, through your trust in God, life yields to you because you are yielding to it. So, as I said, by focusing on the breath, we are focusing on God. We are focusing on life in a divine way. And so, as we surrender to God, we allow life to be something that we can handle, something that we can navigate, something that we can step fully into, not blindly, but with trust, knowing that we are focused on something that is far more powerful than people's judgments, opinions on what is or isn't possible in life. So if you are someone that has struggled with bringing the life that you desire to see and experience in life, you simply need to get mentally fit. You need to get into shape. This body temple has to get into shape. It has to be prepared. It needs to be capable of handling and navigating life. And it's designed to do that. And so, what we're going to do is embark on a journey. I was hearing something, guys. So, what we're going to do is embark on a journey that is going to allow us to get into the best mental shape of our lives. And as we get into the best mental shape of our lives, we're going to see through experience, which is very important, through experience, that not only can we know what to do in the moment, but we trust ourselves. So when you are mentally healthy, you are never going to second guess yourself. You are never going to allow whatever emotions such as fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, uncertainty to dictate how you see, how you feel, how you move. Mentally healthy individuals can concentrate and focus for long periods of time. And so we are designed to do that. We are designed to concentrate and focus for long periods of time. And when you do that in a divine way, through life, focusing on life, allowing life to be the foundation for which you're going to experience God power, you're going to see that naturally you can remain concentrated and focused on life all day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you can allow yourself to give your undivided focus of attention, all of your being, to focusing on life. And again, to focus on the breath is to focus on God, is to focus on life. It is all interconnected. It is all one. That is how powerful God is. So when we stop believing that God is outside of us, that God is separate from us, and then we begin to accept and embrace the fact that not only is God outside of us, but God is also within us, and we begin to anchor ourselves in that reality, you are going to see that your ability to move through life, to manifest the things that you desire, will be according to God's will. The desires placed in your heart, the desire to be financially free, to be healthy, to have loving relationships, to be creative, to be powerful in a influent, like in a divine way where you're influencing others and inspiring others through your own life, is what we are here to do. We're here to help one another realize that we do not have to settle, that the word contentment doesn't mean laziness. It doesn't mean giving up. Contentment in a divine way means recognizing that there is nothing to fear. There is no one to fear, and there is no lack. So becoming mentally healthy is going to help us get rid of poverty thinking, the idea that there is not enough, the idea that only the rich can prosper, or that wealth is relegated or regarded only just to money. Wealth is a word that means abundance. It means a lot of. And you are here to have a lot of creativity, a lot of wisdom about life, about God, about people. You are here to have a lot of energy, a lot of power, a lot of influence to do the things that you desire to do, to have the support and the love to do that. And you are here to do it in a very unique, divine way. And so I keep saying the word divine way so that you understand that as you pursue the life that you desire, as you live a life and intentionally go about manifesting your goals and achieving your fulfilling your desires, you do not have to go about it in a state of anxiety or in a state of anxiousness, in a state of stress. When you allow God to be the focal point of your life, you can pursue the life that you desire to live and experience from a state of mental peace, because that is what faith-based mental training will teach you, is that no matter what happens in life, no matter what unfolds in life, you can remain in a state of mental peace. Mental peace is our natural way of being. And when we trust that God is not outside of us, that the very inhale and exhale of our breathing is the divine spirit, because we are given proof of that through the life we are living, then we can begin to experience and we can see it. Not only can we feel it, but we can see that that mental peace is something that is our baseline. It is the foundation. We are designed to live life from a state of mental peace. And any decision or any action that you are going to take, if you can take it from a state of mental peace, you are never going to regret the action or the decision you make. You are never going to second guess yourself, because you understand that mental peace is God's gift to humanity. Mental peace is God's gift to his children, to his beloveds. So to allow ourselves to be mentally agitated, to feel anxious or stressed or worried or like we're lacking something in life is just, we're mentally lazy. We're mentally out of shape. And once you begin to get mentally in shape, you will begin to stabilize your emotions. So now you're not allowing emotions to dictate how you see, how you feel. You will begin to take care of the physical body. So yes, you are going to pay attention to what you eat, to what you drink, to how much you eat, how much you drink, what you're reading, what you're listening to, the people you hang around. You will change your entire life just from getting into mental shape, which is why I wanted to become a mental fitness trainer, because I love what everyone is doing in terms of their role or their part in sharing knowledge and information about life. But I want to tell you, no one gets into shape just watching people work out on the phone. Like, you can watch all the workout videos that people post online, and that is not going to get you into physical shape. You actually have to work out. You actually have to get in the gym, do the hits, do the cardio, do the stretching. Like, you have to actually do those things. It's the same thing with mental training. For you to get into mental shape, you actually have to sit down and strengthen your concentration and focus muscles. But I wanted to share with us, with everyone, whoever is listening, whoever has the courage, that there is a divine way to go about mental training that can give you all the knowledge and all the understanding you need of life. But like I said, with great power comes great responsibility. Faith is a mental discipline, and it is strictly God focused. You are not focused on anything other than God when you are living a life of faith. And when you are living a life of faith, because God is the focal point of your attention, of your concentration, of your focus, everything else is secondary. But what you realize is, by focusing on the breath, you're focusing on God. Therefore, you see that you can handle life. You can live, you can handle the day-to-day activities with your focus of attention on the breath. So that is my intention for this channel, is for us to actually get some workout, get some mental workout in. But just know that we are going to do it completely God focused. We're going to do it focusing on the breath. And then that is going to give you the actual direct firsthand experience of God, of the God within you, of the God that is the creator of all things, of the God that is up in the sky, that if you believe that, of the God that is, in your spiritual or sacred books, that God is also within you. And the breath is the portal. It is the connection to God, to the one God that is the creator of all things. So thank you for being here. Just okay, so now that I got that introduction out the way, thank you for bearing with me. Like I said, this is just a new way I want to do that. This is the only video for the week. For the rest of the week, we will just be doing our mental workout. So I expect that you watch this video first before you jump in to do those mental workout videos, because I really want you to have a good, strong foundation, and I really want you to trust the process, because that is what discipline is about. Discipline is about recognizing that there is a process to everything that we do. And when you are intentional, when you are focused on God in that process, then you begin to see the rewards that come, the results that come from that. And once you see that, okay, there is a benefit to me mentally working out, there is a benefit to me mentally working out in this way, then it just makes you more prepared, more ready, more capable of handling the rest of the week and really getting your mental workout in. So let's get into it. All right, so I have my notes here, so let me just see. Okay, so pick a video. So I have 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute, and 30-minute sessions. If you are busy, you wake up late, you need to get a quick mental workout in, then do a 5-minute, 10-minute, or a 15-minute. But I really want you to understand, treat these mental workouts like you would if you were working out at the gym. You don't go to the gym and do a 5-minute workout. Yes, you could, but we don't go into the gym with that intention. When you enter the gym with the videos for the mental workouts you're going to do, go with the intention that you're going to actually get a mental workout in. So schedule your day accordingly. It helps to do a minimum of 20 minutes a day. But life happens, and sometimes God will challenge us and see if we rise to the occasion and get it in anyway. So I understand that you might need to get a quick workout in, which is why I wanted to create 5-minute, 10-minute, and 15-minute videos. Also, that's also why I do 60-second mental workout. So there's no reason that you should miss getting a mental workout in at all this week. Just prepare your day. Be intentional about your life. One of the things we are going to talk about on this channel is life visioning. You need to sit down and really ask yourself, what is my definition of a successful life? What is my definition of a life of no lack and no fear, where nothing is lacking, where no one is lacking in my life, where there is no one and nothing to fear? What are the words I would use to describe that type of life? How would I behave? How would I conduct myself? What kind of language would I use? Because one of the things I have learned getting into mental shape is your language does change. You don't speak lack, but you also don't speak without intention. You are very intentional about the words you are using, and you're very trusting that the words you are using come from a divine place because you are God focused. And so, like I said, faith is a mental discipline, but faith teaches us that by being mentally disciplined, God focused on life, this allows us to really be intentional about everything we are doing. So be intentional from the moment you wake up. So plan your day accordingly. There is no reason to miss a mental workout, especially if you know that this body temple is your vehicle to that life that you are going to give definition to, that you are going to define what success means. What does health mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? What does contentment mean to you? What does power mean to you? What does love mean to you? What does freedom mean to you? And then remember to define these in every area of your life: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. So make sure the words you are defining cover every aspect of your body temple. So pick a video that you are going to do, and then make sure you're wearing clothing that you feel comfortable enough to sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, or 30 minutes in. Again, no one goes to the gym in high heels or dress shoes if you're a man. You go into the gym prepared to work out. So come into the gym prepared to mentally work out. Wear clothing that is comfortable to you, that you know that is not going to bother you or create a distraction while you are in your mental workout. Also, be in a space where you feel comfortable enough to close your eyes. You do not have to close your eyes for the type of training that we do, but should you desire to, if you really want to lock in on the breath and really want to focus in on it, you'll notice that in my training, I fluctuate between my eyes being open and closed. So just make sure you're in a space where you feel comfortable enough to close your eyes if you desire to. Use the restroom, drink some water, move around a bit, stretch before you get into your training. Like I said, treat this just like you would a physical workout. You ain't about to jump into a physical workout not stretching. And if you do, I highly recommend, especially if you are over 30, because I know in your 20s we all think we're invincible, so I'll give you a pass. And your body might just be nimble and fluid enough to bypass it. However, develop better habits. You know what I mean? If you can really get into the mindset that stretch and mobility training is a fundamental aspect of life. I do stretch and mobility trainings before every workout. I give myself a minimum of 20 minutes, but I am 40 now, so I do about 30 minutes of stretch and mobility. So drink some water, use the restroom, move around a bit. This all helps because we are going to be sitting silent and still. So you are going to get into a position where you have to maintain that position that you are in. Think of it as Zen or monk or Buddha-like sitting position, but you're going to sit in a position that allows you to remain alert and relaxed. So I want your spine erect, your back supported. Sit in a chair, on a couch, propped up on your bed with pillows. Just give your back, just give your back support and sit in a position where you know you can maintain alertness, but also settle into relaxation, because mental peace is alert and relaxed. That is the state the body temple should be in when you are in God's state, when you are in a godly state, which is faith-based. You are in a state of alertness and relaxation. So this idea that you're veering off into other realms or other spirits or negativity can come into you, that is not faith. Faith is such a strict, intense, extreme focus on God, because you need to be sealed. That is what the Hermetic principles were about. It's about sealing in your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding of God. And you want to be so locked in, so focused on God that nothing can that nothing can permeate, that nothing can penetrate through that focus, laser locked in mindset. So you want to be in a state of alertness and relaxation. So sit in a lotus Indian style, or if you're in a chair, sit with your feet planted on the ground. Just sit in a position that you can be alert and relaxed in. Lastly, if you find it difficult to focus on the breath without any tools, this is a great tool. Meditation beads. If you are interested, my husband hand makes them. Leave me a note in the comments and I'll shoot you some pictures. But meditation beads are great tools for the type of training that we do. We use them simply to keep our focus of attention on every inhale and exhale. So each bead would represent an inhale and exhale of your breathing. And so that is what you would use if you find it difficult to focus on the breath, because the breath is the focal point of the training that we do. Got that done. All right. So let's get into the faith-based mental training. So I am going to break the habit of always saying so, but it's sort of like my way to gather myself. I am so thankful that you are being patient with me. I was getting ready to say it. Let's get into this. There are 5 principles of faith. Faith is a law. As I said, it is so intense, so extreme, so obedient to focusing on God, that it is law. So when you are faithful, there is no wavering of your faith. That is why we have to get mentally fit. We have to develop ourselves to be so locked in on God that we never waver. And if we're being honest, the life that we have lived, the lifestyle that we have lived, a lot of the experiences that we've had in life have created certain traumas in the body temple. So emotionally, we do not feel secure in our trust of God. If you're just being honest, and it takes humility to be that honest, that you can sense that you don't fully trust God because you've been through some things, because you've prayed and some of the things that you prayed for have not come into fruition. But what faith teaches us is that because there is nothing impossible to God, therefore there should be nothing impossible to you. And if you find that you are struggling to manifest the life you desire to see and experience, which is what I found in my own experience, then it means we need to get mentally fit. We're not as mentally disciplined on God as we should be. And so, what we want to do is embody the principles of faith. And once you embody the principles of faith, you will never waver. And that's why you come into a state of mental peace, because you realize through your experience of never wavering and maintaining God focused mindset, you naturally come into things. Like now it's not so hard to go with the flow of life, to let go and let God. And so when you let go and let God, you realize things are happening much more smoother, much more easier, with much more ease. And that is what keeps you in that mental state of peace. And so the 5 principles of faith are given to us so that we truly understand that nothing is impossible to God, and that we use that knowledge in our own lives to transcend poverty thinking. There is never a reason to believe that there is not enough for you, that there is not enough of what you desire. You are designed to be abundant. So if you are experiencing lack, living paycheck to paycheck, there's not enough love, there's not enough attention, there's not enough um, support, and you desire that, just know that you have limited thinking. Your vision has been narrowed because of the things you have been through in life. And so because you have been through some things in life, you developed a certain way of handling and navigating life, and this keeps you limited. But in God, we are abundant. We are expansive, very grounded individuals. And so we want to embody those principles because they just allow us to be ourselves authentically. So we're not out here trying to be perfect. We're out here just trying to be the truth, meaning that which is tangible, that which is valid. And that's why we can trust the breath, because you can see the breath, you can feel the breath, you can move with the breath. And you also understand that the breath is formless, that you can't even see it, that you can't even touch it, that it's just here. So there is a beautiful, beautiful polarity that is reconciled. So you begin to understand what God actually means, which means supreme power. God is a word that means supreme power. It does not mean a man in the sky. And yes, there are individuals, there are spiritual beings, there are divine beings who have come into this human form to remind us of that. And yet we somehow fail to forget that the same message that this individual was sharing with us is intended to be embodied. You are intended to be one with Jesus, to be one with Buddha, to be one with Krishna. You are intended to be one with supreme power. There is a supreme power. There is a higher power. That word is God. And the breath, the Holy Spirit, is your portal, is your tethered line to that knowledge and understanding. And so we should never allow ourselves to believe that something is lacking or something is missing in our experience. There is no one lacking, no one missing. Your vision might be so narrow that you can't see it, which is why you got to get back into shape. So the first principle of faith is trust God. You have to trust supreme power. You have to trust this higher power because nothing is in your control. You are not in control of anything. If you study the Kabbalion, you will know that life is governed by God. There are principles, there are laws of life that are governed by God. And as created individuals, we are governed by God. Every created thing is governed by God. And so you have to learn to trust life. You have to learn to live a certain way that you are not naive, you are not ignorant, but you remain God focused. And through this God focused mindset, you are able to handle and navigate things irregardless of what people would think is or isn't possible. So, that first principle of trusting God means keep your focus of attention on God. To do that, we focus on the breath. We focus on the very spirit, the very source of our aliveness, the very source of our ability to move and to be and to feel and to do in this world. So you focus on the breath. To trust God means to give yourself over to God, to surrender, to yield. You have to know that life is happening so you can wake up to the knowledge that you are not separate from God and that you can ground yourself in this knowledge, that you can be stable with this reality. So when you are living a life of faith, you trust God. And so you're not out here trying to control things. So when you trust God, you are allowing God to fulfill your desires because those desires are planted in us by God. But when we are mentally unhealthy, we will try to do things to make those desires come into fruition. So that is why a lot of us find ourselves anxious, we find ourselves stressed, we find ourselves uncertain. We don't really know what it is we want to do, what it is we want to have. And some of us even feel guilty or ashamed for a lot of the things we want to do, want to have, want to be. So you realize that when you relinquish all this overthinking and just trust God, it just gives you a sense of peace. It gives you a sense of it's okay. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. So that's the second principle. The first principle is trust God. The second principle is to be sincere about trusting God. So faith, the second principle of faith, if you are living a life of faith, be sincere about trusting God. So this is where I said earlier in the video, you have to have humility. There's a lot of us that aren't humble enough to be honest about the fact we don't live a life that we truly trust God. We do try to control certain things. We pray to have things. But if you really trust God, you just pray to say thank you. Thank you for what I have. Thank you for providing me with the life that you've given me. Thank you for giving me the ability and the capacity to manifest the life that I desire. Thank you for supporting me and provide. You say thank you. You never have to ask before, because if you truly understand that God is supreme power, that God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, then you know before you even ask, it is given. But a lot of us aren't humble enough to admit that we don't really trust God, because if you trust God in a faithful way, you're God focused. You are never seeing anything other than God. Even if you are looking at this camera, if you are truly God focused, you see the breath and then you see the camera. You see you see God and then you see the individual. You see a pen. You see God first, and then you see the manifestation of God. So God focusedness is about paying attention to the Holy Spirit first, and then everything else comes into fruition. You're able to see the solidity of things because you first see the spirit, the essence of it. That's really what I'm trying to say. So that second principle about being sincere about trusting God is that it's okay to acknowledge the fear there. There is a fear in trusting God, because to trust God, you have to let go. You have to truly surrender. And a lot of us, the reason why we're so afraid of other people's religions, we're so afraid of listening to certain things, we're so afraid of eating certain things, we're so afraid of hearing certain things, is because you haven't fully sealed yourself in God wisdom. If you are fully sealed in God wisdom, if you are living a life where you are simply God focused, you will never be afraid to hear something, to see something, to feel something. And this is what life is constantly trying to tell us. You cannot control the good, you cannot control the bad, but you can control where you are paying attention to and what you are paying attention to. And so for a lot of us, we've lost our footing. We've lost the foundation of where am I supposed to be focused? And if you focus on the breath, you are focusing on God. That is your anchor. That is the ground you will stand on. And this allows you to live your life, letting people live their lives, but you will never be susceptible to the limitations that people place on life because of their traumas, because of the things that they've experienced. They want to tell you what is or isn't possible. But to God, nothing is impossible. And so that means to you, nothing is impossible. So just be sincere about trusting God. Allow yourself to feel what you are feeling. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to feel euphoric. It's okay to feel uncertain, to feel doubtful, to feel worried. But you got to do it from a God focused mindset, because those emotions just remind you that you're human. It reminds you that you're here to have a human experience, but you are not to be controlled by these emotions. You're not to allow yourself to be controlled by them. So you want to make sure you are living from a state of knowledge and understanding that God is your focus point, is your focal point. And because God is your focal point, you are not afraid of any emotion. And emotions are experiences. They are thoughts. They are the movement of other people, and it is also the movement of yourself. So an emotion is energy in motion. It's everything that's coming and going in and around you. But if you remain God focused, you'll be able to handle any emotion. There is no emotion, no experience we cannot handle. So just be sincere about what you're feeling while maintaining your focus on the breath, your focus on God. The third principle is be disciplined about trusting God. So this is the obedience that is always talked about in sacred scriptures. Being faithful, living a life of faith, means to be obedient to God. It means to be obedient. If you are going to be disciplined in life, you have to be intentional, which means to be intentional means to be conscious. You cannot be conscious. You cannot be unconscious about your behavior, unconscious about the words you're using, and then expect to pray to say thank you and have those things come into fruition. In order to really allow faith to prove to you that there is a higher power, that this higher or supreme power is in your favor, is your security blanket, is your first love, is your power to come out of poverty thinking, to come out of poverty experiencing, to restore your health, then you have to be God focused. You have to be intentional. So anything that you do obediently, that you do in a disciplined way, you are intentional, you are conscious. So to be disciplined is a mental act first. That's why a lot of us overindulge. That's why we overthink, and therefore we overreact. We overthink. Overthinking leads to overindulgence, and overindulgence leads to overreaction. Or I should say, we overthink. And because we overthink, we overindulge. And once you overindulge, you basically lack self-control. You lack self-discipline. And because you lack self-discipline, you're going to overreact. And when you overreact, the body temple has to pay the price. So that's why we get sick. It's so important to understand that you can heal the body temple. And a lot of the healing is fundamentally necessary on the mental level. If you are mentally disciplined, you are not going to be overweight. And I'm not saying that because you're fat that you are overweight, but if you are not healthy in your body, meaning you do not feel that you could pull yourself up where you hanging off a cliff, or where you were to trip and fall, you couldn't catch yourself, then you are not healthy. If you do not know of your ability to heal yourself should you get sick, then you're not healthy. If you do not know that God is not a man in the sky outside of you, that God is the very inhale and exhale of your breathing, the very spirit that permeates and keeps everything around you and in you alive, then you are not healthy. Healthy is a word that means to heal thyself, to know of your knowledge to heal thyself. So a healthy individual is aware of their ability to heal themselves. So to be disciplined about trusting God means to be focused. It means to really be concentrated. This is not something you negotiate. This is not something that you can be swayed or manipulated out of. When you are living a life of faith, when you are doing it in a faithful way, you are disciplined. And that discipline, if it is truly a divine one, it should show up on every area of your life. And I am sorry if this offends anyone, but if you are faithful to God, you have a body temple that reflects that. That's all I'm saying. The fourth principle is be patient in God. So patience is expressed as contentment. You are not rushing. As I said, when you are patient, you are literally moving intentionally. You are moving consciously. You are aware of the words coming out of your mouth. You are aware of your gestures. You're aware of your posture. You're aware of how you are carrying and conducting yourself in life. So when you are patient in God, you are expressing a level of contentment, because mental peace is a reflection of a God-focused individual. Mental agitation simply means you are not as fit mentally as you would like to be, as you should be, especially if you are going to live the life that you desire to live. If you are going to allow God to fulfill the desires held in your heart, you have to be content. But contentment doesn't mean settling. You do have to cooperate. You do have to collaborate with God. So that's why you get into mental shape. You do your part by taking care of the vehicle. If you focus on taking care of the vehicle, everything else will take care of itself. But you got to trust God. Lastly, be pure. So purity has nothing to do with your genitalia, it has nothing to do with whether or not you are a virgin. Of course, that is an expression of divinity, but we all, especially I am a wife, I am a mother. I did not lose my virginity to my husband. However, once I reclaimed my purity, I reclaimed my power to be chaste, and I gave myself permission to free my body temple of any toxins. You go through your detox. That's why I say once you're disciplined mentally, you will take care of the body temple. To be pure is pure of mind. You do not hold any judgments, any ill will, any hidden agendas, any manipulative behavior. Everything we do is a reflection of the thoughts we have in our mind. Every choice you make, every word that comes out of your mouth is a reflection of the thoughts you are thinking. And so when you are pure, you're simply God focused. And because divinity is formless, that's all you're doing is focusing on God. So there should not be a lot going on up here when you are pure. So what I like to share is that in faith, to be pure, it means to have the intention to be God focused. That is it. So you are judgment free, opinion free. Of course, if someone needs to absolutely know your opinion, you will give it, stating with intention, this is an opinion. But I don't even believe in sharing opinions. I believe in sharing facts. There is a higher power. This higher power controls and governs every created thing. And that's the life I live. I live according to that knowledge, according to that principle, and that I am not separate from this higher power. That if I am to be a woman of faith, then I am to be God focused at all times, no matter what happens. And that's purity. All right, so those are the principles of faith. That is the type of training I take into my mental workouts. So this is the mental workout that you will do when you when you click on any one of my mental workout videos. You are going to sit in a comfortable position in a space where you feel comfortable enough to close your eyes. You are going to hold that position to the best of your ability. Obviously, guys, don't come for me. If you need to move, if you need to make any adjustments, please do so. But you are going to sit in a comfortable position. You are going to maintain this position. And then you are going to give all your focus of attention to the inhale and exhale of your breathing. By following that first principle, you are going to focus on the breath. By following the second principle, you are going to breathe through any emotions that arise during your mental workouts. And you could take this into your physical workouts, this technique of the breathing that you're learning. Any emotions, any sensations, any tingleness, anything you feel in the body temple, you're going to breathe through it. Maintain your focus of attention on the breath. Feel what you're feeling, but you're breathing through it. You are going to consciously breathe and keeping in alignment with that third principle about being disciplined, about trusting God. Consciously breathe. When you are consciously breathing, you are illuminating God. You're making God more visible in your life. This allows you to maintain your focus of attention, to breathe through any emotions, any experiences that you're encountering during your mental workouts. Remember, we are maintaining a state of alertness. So you need to be able to consciously breathe. And to do that, you're just breathing in and out on purpose. To keep in alignment with that fourth principle, you are going to breathe rhythmically. Breathe, relax. So you are going to intentionally breathe in, intentionally breathe out without pausing. Keep your breathing fluid. This is what it means to breathe contentedly, to breathe in a content mental peace and a content manner is to breathe in and out. And you're not controlling the in and out. You're allowing yourself, that's the fifth one. So you're allowing yourself to breathe in and out fast, in and out slow, in and out fast and slow, in and out shallow, in and out deep. You are not controlling the breath. This is what it means. You're not controlling God. You're not controlling. I know in spirituality, we tend to get that a bit twisted. There is no control when you are God focused. To trust means to give yourself over to. And so what you want to learn to do is just be with the rhythmic flow of life. Be with God. Be with God in the moments where you're happy. Be with God in the moments where you're sad. Be with God in the moments where you're excited. Be with God in the moments you feel down. If you allow yourself to go with the flow, everything will be okay. All right? I am here with you. I am so excited for you, and I will see you in the gym. Bye, guys.